Hidey ho, neighborinos. Your cybersecurity pal is here once again with yet another mind-boggling episode of CSC 101. Sorry I've been away for so long, but I've been traveling and then I caught a really nasty bug for a while. No, not COVID, but just like a bad penny, I'm back! And today is a special topic for me because I'm going to talk about two groups which are especially near and dear to my heart. I started this whole thing because I want to protect innocent people from the bad guys out there in the digital world, and there are two groups that I want especially to protect because they're the most vulnerable. The first group is seniors. Let's talk about seniors for a moment. I've got some good news and some bad news on that front, all based on a podcast entitled Cybersecurity Headlines. First, the bad news. According to the FBI 2020 Internet Crime Report, people over the age of 60 reported being victims of cybercrime more than any other age group, with losses totaling over $965 million in 2020 nationwide. That is $965 million taken out of the pockets of our senior citizens and placed into the pockets of G-rated, Keith, G-rated, of criminals who stole it from them, mostly using email and phone scams. And that leads us to the good news. The state of Delaware has introduced an educational cybersecurity program for senior citizens. It's a series of live and virtual presentations given in several spots all over the state to seniors, putting the information in their hands to keep themselves and their loved ones safer from the bad guys. And for this, I applaud them. And just have this to say to the other 49 states out there, where's your program like this? You need to up your game. In all seriousness, though, again, yay Delaware. Now, I said one group is especially vulnerable to bad guys, seniors, but there's another group which is probably even more vulnerable, which I've talked about before, children. As I pointed out before, a lot of seniors are plugged into the digital world minimally, if at all. But you show me a child above the age of 6 who's not plugged in at all, and I'll show you a child who's likely being raised Amish. Children are being raised in a world today in which the internet and video games and streaming content and social media is like water to a fish to them. They don't know anything different. They can't imagine anything different. And if you're a parent of a child who's old enough to hold a mouse, you have to know that it's not safe for kids to navigate that world with no supervision any more than you'd let them walk unsupervised through a crime-ridden neighborhood at 2 a.m. But, as always, your cybersecurity pal is here to help out. On another podcast, Security in 5, which I've mentioned before, Drew, the binary blogger, drew my attention to Microsoft's family and privacy security features. It's a series of settings on your Microsoft account that you can use to secure a Windows PC or Microsoft account that your kid is using. Now, the first step you need to do is to set up a Microsoft account for your child if you haven't done so already. It'll be based on an email address, and it can be any type of email address. my Microsoft account happens to be based on my Gmail address. This is the account that your child will be using to log into any computer with. If you're sharing your computer with your child, then you'll need to set up a separate Microsoft account on your computer for them to log into. If they have their own computer, then this Microsoft account of theirs, based on their email address, will be what they use to log into their computer. If you're not sure, if you're not familiar with how to do any of that, I'll provide links in the notes below on how to do it. Once that's done, let me demonstrate what to do next. Okay, so once you have set up your child's separate Microsoft account, you're going to log into your own Microsoft account. This is the one you use to log into your Windows PC or laptop. It's probably based upon an email address. And the way to go there is simple. It's just account.microsoft.com. And you sign in. And as I mentioned before, my sign in is actually through my Gmail account. And there's my password. And I've actually set up my computer so that it recognizes me, so I don't need to use 2FA or MFA to sign into my Microsoft account. But of course, I have enabled 2FA on my Microsoft account, and you need to as well. If you haven't done so, you need to do it, and if you're not sure how to do that, I'll provide a link for that in the notes below, but that's a separate issue. Anyway, we go to the Microsoft account, and here's my account page, and we just go to family, this wonderful one happy connected family right here. And it immediately pops up with asking me if I want to add someone. I don't have anyone in my family group, so that's probably why it's asking me here, but this is where you would put in your child's email address for their Microsoft account. You click next, and you just go from there to add them. But anyway, let's go over some of the features, because this is really cool. I didn't really go into it before, but as a parent, you don't need to just be concerned about the bad guys out there. You probably are concerned about, or you should be concerned about, the screen time for your child. How much time do they spend just browsing the internet? How much time do they spend on Facebook? How much time do they spend playing video games? You can control all of that here. You can set screen time limits and say, okay, on a school night, you get 1 hour of Xbox time, or 1 hour of time on the internet, whatever you like. You can set that up here. Now this is extremely important right here, filter content. You can set it up so that your child can only play Xbox games that are age appropriate. You can also make sure that your child, when surfing the internet, only goes to age appropriate websites. You can set that up right here with this filter content. You can have Microsoft send you a weekly activity report telling you how much time did your child spend on the internet, how much time do they spend playing video games. You can set up a weekly report sent to you. You can also set it up for location finding. You can be notified when your child logs in at home. You can make sure that your child is logging in where they say they're logging in, a friend's house, school, the library, wherever. You can use that to locate your child if necessary. You can also set up an app. This is really nice. I wasn't aware of this. There is an app called the Microsoft Family Safety app. All the stuff that we're talking about here, the filtering and screen time and all that, you can actually set that up on their phone or their tablet, whether it is Apple or Android. You can set that up. You just put this in the mobile number or the email address and get a download link and put that on their phone. And everything that we're talking about here, you can also implement on their phone or tablet, which is really cool. You can also, if you like, you can have them suggest family-friendly movies, games, and such. You can also set up a shared family calendar and grocery lists, all sorts of things. It's really cool. Now, I need to issue 2 caveats with this. I need to re-emphasize that all of this is applicable only if your child is signed into a computer with their Microsoft account. If there is a local account of some type on the computer and they're able to sign in with that account, then none of this is applicable. Has to be through their Microsoft account that you've set up for them. The other caveat is this internet filtering that we're talking about here. It is only applicable if they are using the Microsoft Edge browser for their surfing. If they are using Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, any other browser, it's not applicable. It's not going to work. You might be thinking, well, gee, Keith, what was to stop them from just going to Chrome instead of using Edge? Well, you can actually set it up so that they can only use Microsoft Edge browser for their internet browsing. So anyway, you can set all of that up on this page. It's really sweet, and it really is that easy. So that's it. A little bit of a learning curve, but it's not too bad, right? Anyway, that's all I have for today. I know I didn't have my twin brother with the baseball cap mentioning how ruggedly handsome I am, but this was a really serious topic, so I decided to save the humor for the next video. As always, if you want to be notified when I'm dishing out another portion of cybersecurity goodness, then be sure to click the like and bell buttons below. And as always, thanks so much for watching, and God bless.